How often do you feel like you belong? When you are in a group setting or a group dynamic, how often do you feel like you fit in? I am especially interested in my fellow Gen Xers and baby boomers, uh, women over 50, your experiences around this. I posted about this earlier today on my Threads account, and I have been bombarded with answers. I posted it because I've been giving it a lot of thought lately, and I've been trying to navigate it myself. It has been part of my identity for a while that I consider myself an outlier. Maybe not as far as an outsider, but an outlier, like on the edge or on the fringe of any particular group. And I've been wondering where this is coming from. My name is Amy Palmer. I am your Gen X Big Sister. I talk about all things pre-retirement, those last 10, 15 years before you are ready to retire, and how this topic fits in is community. The older that I get, community is important. And I have a feeling looking ahead of what my future years are going to be like, that community is going to be very important there. And this is something that I have struggled with for a really long time. And it's been part of who I am, that I consider myself not part of any mainstream group. And it's played out in so many ways. Like in middle school, elementary school, when we first started getting like cliquey and into groups, I was solidly in a group, and then I got sort of like ostracized from that group later in junior high. And then in high school, I group hopped, and I hear a lot of other people that have done the same. Like I liked to hang out a little bit with this group and that group. And, I was a cheerleader, and I was on the debate team. And so like I had that group and the cheerleader group. And so they were all different people, but I was never in the group. I was never one of the central characters of the group, or the most embraced, or from my opinion and perspective, the most liked within that group in high school. And then that continued into college. College, I felt like I found my people when I found the theater. Theater people became my group for a while. Years later, that turned out not to, I felt separate from that group. And then, as part of life, I talked about blueprint breakers and breaking the blueprint. As a woman who has proceeded down a life path of being solo, without a partner, with no kids, felt very much on the outside of mainstream, or on the very edge, and that any groups that I'm in, I'm sort of like on the edge of that group. And when I've looked at entrepreneurial groups, it's never been quite in sync. And I was just curious, because I've suspected that my experience and my feeling about this is more common than I would have thought, that a lot of people feel like they don't fit in. And so it's interesting, when I posted about this today, some of the responses that I got, so many women feeling the same way and understanding what I mean. A few that are like, yeah, but at our age, who cares anymore? I don't really care about fitting in. I don't care about belonging to a group. And most of those comments came from women with partners and families. Uh, I think as a solo woman aging and aging solo, that having groups and having that connection are important. So I do think that it's important. And I haven't quite figured out why there's always something that makes me feel like I don't I almost fit, but I don't quite fit. There's always something, there's a quirk in me that makes me not completely aligned with that particular group. Now, mind you, I have some very, very good friends. I have a lot of friends and a lot of friend groups and a lot of networking groups and coaching groups. I have all kinds of different groups that I belong to. And interestingly, one of the groups that I belong to, the coaching group that I belong to, is a very diverse group of women, and diverse in terms of age, in terms of race, in terms of nationality, in terms of where we live. So we're spread out all over the world. I'm definitely on the oldest side of this, one of the oldest, if not the oldest, in this particular group. And I'm in the minority in terms of my race and ethnic background. And I'm in the middle in terms of entrepreneurial progress of where we are with the businesses that we're building and stuff. I'm kind of like in the middle pack of that, as opposed to like beginner and then like super successful. And I I generally, in general, feel very in sync with this group, and I feel very inspired by this group. I I'm inspired by the tenacity, the persistence, the excitement, the passion. So I'm in line with the mission and the passion and the focus. But then I end up feeling like I don't fit in because I'm way older than most of these young women, and I I don't have a similar experience than a lot of them, as me being a white woman, that gives me a different lens of experience. So that makes me like I'm sort of on the edge, the outskirts of that group. But in terms of getting energy and feeling connection with the group, of the various groups that I'm in right now, it is the one that kind of feeds me the most right now. Some of my friend groups, I care and love them, and because we have shared history and shared love for each other and knowledge of each other's families and things we've gone through together. But I still often feel out of sync because our life circumstances are quite different, and our hopes and dreams of what we're going after right now in life is quite different. So I apologize because I'm working through this in real time. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been, my coach recognized a while ago that I've been seeking my community. I've been seeking my people to like just fully feel in sync with. And I haven't quite I haven't quite gotten there yet. So, am I making any sense to you? Like, do you care about fitting in and belonging and having that sense of community, having a group of people that you feel sort of on the same page, in sync, and inspired by each other, and you're there for each other? Do you have that? If so, where did you get it? And how did you get it? Is it important to you? It is important to me as I continue to design my pre-retirement. I would love to have my group, my community of women who also want to see the world, not just to travel, but to live, extend, like to do the nomad, little bit of the nomadic experience, that are exploring the entrepreneurial experience, that have a similar personal path to me in terms of being solo and not having children. I would love to find my community of women that I have that in common with. I know that it might be different for you, but what is it that you're seeking specifically? Because I'm trying to create it, and I think something can be started here between this platform and between the Threads platform where we're having these conversations. I feel like my community is out there. I'm here for them, they're here for me, but it's about us discovering each other. So Tell me your thoughts. Did I make any sense to you today? And tell me your thoughts on what is the answer and how do we get there? Please like and subscribe to this channel so I can continue to build the community. My name is Amy Palmer. I am your Gen X Big Sister, signing out.